For centuries, debate has been a way to inspire critical thinking, challenge ideas, and spread knowledge. Today, all across the country, programs offer debate to middle school and high school students.
One of the best and biggest leagues in the country is in Orange County, California, known as the Orange County Debate League.
The Orange County Debate League, or OCDL, promotes middle school debate. We use a style known as modified parliamentary. However, there are many different styles.
For example, there's Lincoln Douglas, Public Forum, Policy, Congress, and many more.
So what is modified parliamentary?
Well, for starters, you have two teams, a proposition and an opposition. Each team has 3 people. However, at times you may have a 2-person team with one person speaking twice. Each speaker speaks for 5 minutes.
The OCDL announces the topics for each debate tournament several weeks in advance.
The Olympic Games should include esports. States should not be permitted to create campaign-free zones at polling places. Job hunters should not have to disclose their criminal history. Reptiles should not be kept as pets.
Each team prepares both the proposition side and opposition side of the topic. The proposition argues in favor of the resolution. The opposition argues against the topic or resolution.
So that brings us to the sides themselves. Now let's talk about the proposition's duties, burdens, and privileges. The proposition is allowed to, but not required to, narrow or define the terms of the resolution. For example, for the topic that homework should be banned, a team could narrow it to be that homework should be banned for seniors in high school. However, they are not required to.
Now the proposition does have a lot of privileges, but they also have the biggest burden throughout the round. They have the burden of proving the case. For example, in the event of a tie, the opposition wins because they don't have the burden of proving the case.
This brings us to the opposition side. If the proposition chooses to narrow or define the terms in a debate in a certain way, the opposition has a choice to make. For example, the opposition can choose to follow the definitions or narrow set by the proposition.
The prop is defined homework as worksheets, reading assignments, and other packets, as handed out by the teacher, and other putative homework. We agree with this narrow.
Or the opposition can choose to challenge these narrows or definitions.
We challenge this definition since it doesn't account for studying, which doesn't fall in the criteria of reading assignments, packets, or worksheets.
Opposition can, but does not have to add a burden of proof on the proposition.
The proposition must also prove that if we ban homework for seniors in high school, it won't increase the dropout rate.
When placing this burden, the opposition should provide additional reasoning for it.
Now that we've talked about each side's objectives, let's talk tactics, what students are allowed to do and not allowed to do.
In particular, we're going to talk about 2 things: points information, or POIs, and heckles. Let's see a POI in action.
Homework should be banned.
When a first or second speaker is speaking, a person on the other team could stand up, say point information, or POI, and wait to be recognized.
Since most seniors drop out due to excessive
POI.
amounts of it and are struggling to balance it with many other extracurriculars.
When the speaker recognizes the person requesting the POI, he presents a question or comment, no more than 15 seconds, that relates to what the speaker is saying.
Yes.
Can you please tell me the percentage of seniors that have dropped out as a direct result of homework, and can you please quantify your impact?
The speaker doesn't have to accept the POI and may politely decline.
Homework should be banned since most seniors drop out due to excessive
POI?
amounts of it, no thank you, and are struggling to balance it with many other extracurricular activities.
POIs can't be made during the third speaker's speech or in the first or last minute of the other speaker's speeches.
Homework should not be banned because it increases math scores.
Quantification.
In addition to POIs, teams can heckle each other.
Reptiles should not be kept as pets because they very easily spread disease.
Non-unique.
Heckles should be kept between 1 to 3 words and should be constructive and argumentative, not rude or distracting.
It is vital that we add esports to the Olympics, and it is crucial. In addition to heckles, teammates can knock during each other's speeches to show support. These should be kept short and not disruptive. But we do it right now.
According to the Center for Disease Control, domesticated reptiles have caused over 70,000 cases of salmonella worldwide.
Can I please see your evidence?
Contrary to other forms of debate in the OCDL, debaters and judges are not allowed to see proof of evidence. They cannot ask to see each other's evidence. They can ask, however, for the author, date, time.
What is the author of your source?
If the debaters still feel like the source is not authentic, they have to disprove it or refute it in their own speeches.
Esports are vital to the Olympics. Can you please give me an example of other sports that should be included in the Olympics? Esports are the topic that we're talking about right now and the most important thing that we should be discussing today.
There is also no cross-examination. When a speaker is speaking, the only forms of interaction between the speaker and the other team allowed are POIs, heckles, and knocks. Anything else is not allowed. Speakers do not get special time to ask each other questions or prep between speeches.
Well, for the basics of modified parliamentary, that's all we have for today.
We'll explain more of the nuances in later videos.
Up next is obligations of a judge.